talking about NYU, specifically their prompt. And the prompt is, we would like to know more about your interest in NYU. What motivated you to apply to NYU? Why have you applied or expressed interest in a particular campus, school, college program, and area of study? And we want to understand why NYU. So in this NYU essay, it is a 400-word maximum essay. And the best way to organize this essay would probably be a 4-paragraph essay, starting with the hook, the body 1, body 2, and then conclusion. So before you start, think about what you want to talk about in each of these paragraphs and have an organized, well thought out essay before you start. So creating a layout will be very important. So let's go deep into the NYU website. A lot of these websites, in the admission website, they do have a lot of things that they talk about that's going to be important for your research. So one is the NYU Facts. I would go into the NYU Facts first and try to figure out if there are any specific facts that really excites you about NYU. Of course, they talk about the academic profile, but also they talk about the 9-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio in New York City. So that's quite small in a big private university like NYU. And then they talk a lot about the global academic centers that they have. They have 12 global academic centers. So that means studying abroad. And also they have 2 campuses outside of New York, one in Shanghai, one in Abu Dhabi. And that's owned by NYU itself. And then the rest of the centers are kind of like partnering with other universities. And so these are the great things to talk about that excites you, but also NYU has the #1 highest number of international students, so they're very global. They really like it when someone likes diversity of New York, but also NYU, as well as studying abroad. So being a global-minded student is a very important part of NYU. The other one is the clubs and organizations that you want to be involved in. Those will be good to talk about, especially the ones that is relating to your major. And then a lot of this website for the admission office, they also have majors and programs. So take a look at what major you want to do. NYU do have a lot of majors. They have a lot of majors that you might not have heard of or think about. So taking a look at these majors will be a very important part of your research because you have to be specific in terms of what major you want to do and why NYU. And then there's Life at NYU. That's also a good one to talk about. New York City, a lot of people do talk a lot about New York City, but don't talk a lot too much about it, maybe like a few sentences, because there's a lot of universities, right? There are a lot of universities in New York City itself. So talk about New York just a little bit. And then there's internships, jobs, opportunities, life in New York City. So those are good to look at just for your own research. Study abroad right here, if you click on it, there are a lot of locations that you can do by studying abroad. So be specific to show which country you want to go to will be important. And then as you go into specific school, so let's say your major is under the engineering school, each of these schools have their own website for admission. So take a look at the admission website for each of the school and then see why you want to go there, what interests you for attending Tandon, so not just NYU, but also Tandon. And then what you can do is you can go deep into the other part of the website. So research programs that they have, name a couple of research programs that you want to be involved in, and then talk about centers and institute that you want to be involved in as well. They have a lot of centers and institute for research. And it doesn't have to be specific to what type of research that you're involved in, that you want to be involved in, but name those centers and institutes, and preferably the one that's related to your major. They also have labs and groups that's available for students to join. So talk about that as well. So those are going to be good. And then the other part of it is that you can Google your own major. So let's say chemical and biomolecular engineering is your major. Take a look at that. See the professors that's teaching in that program. If there's a professor that you want to take a research with or like take a class with, that would be great. Each of the professor would have publications. So you can take a look at the publication and see if there is a topic that interests you and why it interests you. So naming those will be good. And then student life, so student activities that's relating to your major will be important. So that's where you can find it. So NYU Essay is all about your excitement of attending NYU, knowing about NYU in general, but also knowing about the specific school that you want to be involved in, and then also the major that you want to be in. So hopefully that helps. And if you have any questions, just message me on my email or on the comment. Thank you.